Today, I'm going to bring in the Nighthawk AX12 Wi-Fi 6. Pretty box. Don't let the box fool you. We're going to take a look and see what you get when you get something like this. So let's go ahead and open it up and see some of the features that are included. Now, in the box, it tells you Wi-Fi 9X, which is like 9 times faster than your regular home usage. Now, if you have a router that you purchase with the actual your provider, maybe it's time to upgrade because some of their providers routers are really outdated. So let's go ahead and open this up. All right, when you get something like this is what it includes. All right, it includes the actual router itself, how to start out, because you're going to require a phone or some sort of connection to get this going, and then you need an actual power cord too, which is a heavy duty one. They give you a little slim down category 6, I believe, or 5, not quite sure, but we'll look at the details, see what kind of cable it is. Well, first of all, look at this, the actual router itself. Let's go ahead and take a look in the back of it and see what you get. So if you guys notice the wings, there's wings in here. You open them up and you have to push them down, all right? That's how they lock in. If you want to put them back in, you pick them up and fold them back. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back and see what's included. All right, let's go ahead and start with the actual power button. Power button is right here. Power source is right here. Now, if you guys see this one, there's a multiple connection. This is for a 2.5 and 1 gig, a gigabyte transfer rate right here. If you guys see unit number 5, if you have a connection that's a standing or an Ethernet card that's really picking up these kind of connections, you can always plug it in here. But you got 1 through 5 different connections, and of course you got the internet coming in here, and then the additional 2 USBs 3.0. Now this is pretty good. Like if you're going to connect the actual printer to share with all the rest of the connect, you can do that, share in a printer, or if you have a hard drive that you want to share like a network drive, regular USB, you could put a SATA. I recommend you guys a SATA M.2 drive, because if you put a mechanical drive, it overheats. Now you can include that, you could add that in there. It's very simple. Now there's another switch here, a reset button. Now this one's really if you want to go back to factory reset. All right, the next one is the LED lights. If you want to turn off the LED lights that actually come on, too annoying, you can always turn them off through here. Prior to starting, you got to download the NETGEAR, either iOS or actually Droid. So right now I have a Droid. We're going to open it up, but we're going to see if we could find this Nighthawk first. So let's go ahead and set it up. All right, we're going to go Nighthawk, and it tells you that it's faster if you log in, but if you could set it up, go to routerlogin.com and it automatically takes you this setting. So we do have the phone set up and we hit continue, but sometimes you have to just go in and force it to. So either way, you got to make sure that it's picking up your router. So that's one way you have to test it out. Make sure that you have the right connections, the right power, and everything prior to starting. All right. Prior to setting up your phone, it's asking me a couple of questions on the actual phone, and we're going to go ahead and read all the instructions. It tells you step by step. You have to have a login to the system itself too. So hit continue. We're gonna have to read all the information prior to this start. But if you guys notice, there is an actual bar trying to find the actual system itself. Just make sure it's in the same network prior to starting, or it's gonna have a lot of problems. So right now we're just waiting for the system to actually create this account, and then we're gonna set up a password, and we're gonna secure a couple of features too. All right, so let's take a look at some of the features that are included here. So you do have access to your phone on it, and also you have it here. So if you guys can notice, internet connection, pretty much you could change anything you want in here. You have also to get automatic IP, or you could set up your own IP. There's a lot of features in here that I'm not going to go over them, because you could actually do more than what before some of the other routers can do. Wireless devices, this is kind of a very important one, because there's different types of wireless, if you guys can see, that we can enable and we could disable. Some of them require passwords, some of them don't. You could do a guest accounts if you want, temporary accounts, and this is my actual account network right now, but my password's not going to show up in here because it's blanked out, if you guys can see it, but you're going to have to set that up. Now, one important thing is that you can combine the actual wireless devices to say 5G or 2G or none, and they could automatically obtain its own self. So there's a couple ways you can do that. Broadcasting, all the information that needs to require is on here. Well, with the combination of a phone and the actual setup that we have in here, um, it's a little complicated, this router, but it is one of the strongest routers out there. The distance that it could reach, it's pretty good. Setting up is just probably the headache I have. I do this for a living. I work on networks, and this is not something that I had complications myself setting it up. I'm not gonna lie to you. It took me a couple of times to actually make sure it was up to date. I had to update the firmware. That alone, maybe the process from the beginning to the end, it took an hour. And not only that, in the actual manual, it doesn't give you information that you need to relog back into the actual wireless, because it kept kicking me off the wireless, and I kept starting the procedure over and over. So that was a little big problem. In front of it, it gives you the actual username and password of the actual domain you need to be on it, but unfortunately it wasn't working well. I'm not sure if it's my Droid, because I'm using Droid. I have more success on these with these routers on the actual iPhone, so hopefully you won't run into the same issue I have, because I was going to retry my iPad, but I was already halfway there. So I ended up working on it. It's working now. So just hopefully you guys have any problems or any questions, you can always call their tech support and they'll help you out too. So that's something that a lot of people don't know, that it's simple. They always answer. It's pretty much they have certain times that they're on. So just make sure you, prior to set up, read the manufacturer information, and also they included their phone number in their actual instructions. So I hope that you find this video very helpful.